So the next thing that happened after the TV connection with Russian intelligence didn't happen right away. And we don't know a lot. There's not a lot known about if there was any interaction between Trump and any particular handler or anything with Russian intelligence for the next several years. But what is known is that in 1984, a man by the name of David Bogatin bought 5 condos in Trump Tower, which was construction began in 1982 and I believe completed in 1984. So who is David Bogatin? David Bogatin is a Russian gangster who was involved with this big scam that was run out of New York at the time called the New Jersey Red Daisy gas tax scam. So what they would do is the Russian mafia, along with the Italian mafia, because the Italian mafia had the connections to be able to allow certain things to get done, and the Russian mafia had the know-how how to do this. So what they would do is they would set up shell corporations and buy the gas stations. And then what would happen is when you bought gas back then, the gas tax was charged on every gallon of gas. But the gas tax was only collected annually or quarterly, but on some periodic basis. So what the Russians would do, along with the Italian mafia, is they would have the gas station go out of business because they knew when the tax collectors were coming to collect the tax, or when they had to report it, or whatever they were doing. And they would make the gas station go out of business, and then they would open the gas station again under a new shell company. And I believe these were anonymous shell companies, so the gas tax was just lost. And the organized criminals, the Russian mob, made hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars per year doing this. It spread nationwide. So it was a huge, huge scam. You can read about it in House of Trump, House of Putin. I mean, this is like, it ties in. Michael Franzese talks about this. Like, you can look up YouTube videos on this New Jersey gas tax scam. So interesting that, and the thing you need to remember about Russian mafia is an arm of Russian intelligence. They work together. So David Bogatin winds up at Trump Tower and meets Donald Trump in person to give him the cash for the 5 condos for $1.25 million each that were purchased by David Bogatin in cash. And Trump, he doesn't ask any questions. And basically the laws are written so that he doesn't have to. And unless, you can't accuse Trump of knowingly money laundering, which is what this was, unless he knew the source of the money, which he would obviously claim he didn't. So that's the next contact with Trump with the Russians. David Bogatin, New Jersey Red Daisy gas tax scam. And that's the next connection that happened. The next thing that happens after, so you could say, oh, this isn't Russian intelligence. This doesn't have anything to do with spies. Okay. But the next thing that happens definitely does, and it doesn't take as long. It doesn't take 4 years. The next thing happens in 1986. So that one is going to be a little bit longer of a video, a little more complicated story.